I sat and watched a newsreel thing they said recommended on my YouTube, and it was the daughters and the wife of the man that was shot and killed when they did the political stunt with Donald Trump. Right? Took one for the team, right? And they had the wife and the kiddos, and if he's watching from heaven, it's like he's not, NASA is not God, and David Rockefeller's not the Lord, and he knew that, and NASA's not God, and he knew that. And so David Rockefeller didn't think he was playing God with NASA, and he wasn't the Lord. Man talked to me in prayer numerous times when they took me to Sierra Vista back in 2000, and it was when I came here and then went back in 2008, going into 2009, right before Obama took office. Okay. The Bushes sent me Mark, who was a enforcer and not so much of a mule. He was more muscle. He wasn't a mule. He was muscle for the mules. Mark, before he started becoming an artist and married his little wife and had his kids and everything like that, was scarier than the dude that Bernie Manuelito deals with on. Mark was 6'5", worked out 5 days a week, 285 pounds, brick shit solid. Okay, a German Apache with long hair that looked like good. They called him the Apache Viking. And he had a Fu Manchu, and like I said, a scar from ear to ear where they tried to slit his throat and kill him in a German prison, and he killed the 2 or 3 guys that tried to do it with his bare hands. He was scary. I mean, it's like we got along great right off the bat. We were friends right off the bat. He would come and talk to me at the store, told me about the Bushes, and he had financial ties and connections to the Bushes. He told me about Laura and George and so. Because Dad was the head of the CIA. So, and then if you do right by them, they take care of you. So he was an artist that made a living as an artist. They set him up with a lady in Santa Fe that the lady used to get pissed at him. Mark used to go around in an old 70s Ford Bronco to be inconspicuous and look poor, so no one tried to knock him off and hit him because he knew criminals. Because he was raised with criminals. And he would show up late for all the art shows, and the lady would yell at him, and he goes, "These are beer money trinkets. If I would have known that crazy old rich white people give me $10 million a shot for them, I would have been..." Years ago, right? She'd say, "Mark, be quiet." And she got this huge man, and you got this little white lady that runs the art market in Santa Fe going, "Mark, shh. Don't let the secret out, Mark. Shh. Shh. I got you a gig where you can sear your beer money trinkets for $10,000 a pop instead of for beer money. Or shh. Don't let them find out." He was hilarious. He was a good guy. Me and Amy ran into him at Walmart. He was buying pillows. We were looking at Bob Marley t-shirts. And he started talking to us about Boob and then Supertramp. And Amy's, "You're into Supertramp?" He goes, "Yeah, I love Supertramp. But their best album, the best stuff they have, isn't played on the radio. You have to go buy the album to listen to it." I was like, "Oh, wow, I'll have to give that a try." So, yeah, because with Bob, they introduced this whole library, but there may have been songs that were eliminated because they were too controversial. Oh, like what happened to Johnny Clegg and Skavuka in South Africa. Right. We hit it off. It was great. He's a really good person. He killed lots of people. He told me that too. Said, I killed more people in Gallup, New Mexico than I did for the drug cartels being a bouncer for a local bar. The sheriff's deputy office was on the payroll of the bar owners and all that stuff, and you came into the bar and you started stuff, and Mark hit you because you didn't stop or leave, and you ended up dead. That's what happened. He goes, "Yeah, I killed lots of people, punched them. Yeah. He hit them so hard it killed them." He was drunk. He would drink and he would sit in their bar and they would say, "Hey, Mark," and he'd go take care of it. And if they resisted or if they tried to attack him, He asked them to leave the premises if they tried to attack him, and would not peacefully leave the premises if he hit them. Yeah, it was different than old Patrick Swayze and Hey Me-O. Yeah, he could punch people, like Rudy Tomjanovich with his face with Kermit Washington. Yeah, and he'd done that. And he killed quite a few drunk people that started shit with him and pulled a knife on him or swung on him and got hit. It's all perfectly legal. Don't trust your life. No New Mexico judge or lawyer. Hey, want to be a car dealer in Albuquerque? From Grants or Gallup, So it's pretty gross. Yeah, he told me all kinds of stories like, wow. Yeah, he told me stories that, whoa. And everything was fine. The story he told me about the Norwegian girl that came looking for the noble savage, and he told her, don't go with any of those guys. They'll take you out, they'll get you high, they'll rape you, and they'll kill you, and then they'll brag about it. And she sat there and she talked to him. So he said, well, he goes, I'm German and Apache. That's it. The devil in you is the German. And he was like, lady, you better listen to me. A week later, the two guys she left with took her out in the desert, got her high, raped her, and killed her, and bragged about it. Mark didn't tell anybody. Why? Because he told the lady, and she called him the devil for telling her that she shouldn't do it. So I said she got exactly what she deserved. I was like, wow, that's Indian justice, isn't it? Yeah. Better go tell Joseph Running Fox. Yeah. Without cause! Okay. I'm Galotli. The ghost of Galotli. For money, he'll be anybody, right? Earl. Hey, this is where I live, man. These are the people I live with. You try to explain this, but I said, well, getting back to the story, where we started and we watched all these people on these motorcycles saying God's looking down on them, right? It's like, no. If you study every major religion, there's molecular similitudes. If you be fruitful and multiply and you protect one another, that the women, Richard Dawkins, top anthropologist, and he even supports this, because all religions have this, that it's the woman that is the source of a consistent gene. So in order to get Jesus, or Daniel or Moses or Adam or whatever, you need a woman that has the consistent gene, but she has to be of a man, of her choosing, that's a proper suitor that will provide the seed for the temple that is the one like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. She has to choose. With my mom, they tried to set up with Steve Stack an arranged marriage to try to replicate Herschel Steinschneider's body, right? They were doing genetics. And then I'm led to believe that through string theory and different things in an alternate universe thing, that people traveled through a wormhole to come back and tell them, if you want to live in the right world in the right way and don't destroy everything fighting the secular groups, you're going to have to let her choose the sire. Allah decides, let's go eat. So that's why I was always, there's a Mustang. My dad said one time they took me to a restaurant, and I was sitting there in the little high chair, and Dad goes, okay, where's the horse? There's a picture of a horse somewhere in here. It's my boy. I know my boy. He sees a horse. He kept looking, and he looked over there. Why is Earl going? They had a hubcap of a Ford Mustang on the wall, and I saw it. It's cute. That's why I've always been. I was liked the Pony Express, Eric Dickerson and Craig James, and always been close follower of Western New Mexico Mustang Athletics, because purple is one of my favorite colors. Even though they dressed your spirit in a purple robe and beard, yeah, I got nothing against purple. It wasn't purple's fault that you guys are assholes and murderers and make up mythology to try to replace me with your mythology. It's not purple's fault. Neither Vegas Gordon nor purple's fault, nor Mustang's fault either. Orale. Okay, so you're funny, but. So they have lots of proof, actually, that it's genetic sequencing. Okay. So when those people talk about the father of that man, they said any man would do that, would give his life to save his wife and children from people shooting each other over voting for people that will kill people with money. No. A man stands up for the Lord's Prayer without fear and says, "Go ahead and shoot me. It's not going to change the truth. I'm not going to make your lie and your infidelity faithful love like me." Right? That's what a real man does. So what I would do is I would take his wife and his daughters and get the sign. Where's the genetic sequence of this man? Do we have a genetic sequence? Okay, here it is. And take him to that baby in, be it Pennsylvania or Portugal or wherever he migrated from, right? See this baby right here? Okay. Tell that baby, all these assholes on motorcycles that want to fight and kill over money showed up to celebrate your life. And they act like Ralph Earl Parsons Jr., the spirit of the body of Christ doesn't exist. And that we shouldn't live the Lord's Prayer. We're still writing songs about fucking and calling it love. Sweet love in the midnight, good love to the morning light. Don't worry about nothing. Just get, I feel like a butterfinger out there, like I want to link, but I just want to keep do it again, right? Giving you a piece of my, let's make love over and over and over and over again. Once you've got her pregnant, she starts going into the nesting phase, you take a nap. And she's going to get the house ready for the baby. And you better make sure the baby has everything it needs. Because if you're not living the Lord's Prayer, some asshole's going to shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square and everybody's going to vote for him for president because money trumps the Messiah. You explain that to that little baby. You know? Tell that little baby, the baby that was like Selena, you know? No, we're not going to live the Lord's Prayer, Selena. We're going to make it to where another Yoli can shoot you because we're all fighting over money and doing crimes over money instead of living the peace of the Messiah. Okay? And there's no guarantee that the molecular structure that provides a body for the spirit of Cell sings Biddy Bamba and the Restless Bull and Tu Solo Tu as good as Cell did. Okay? The genetics just may not be there. Right? There's different talents, different strokes for different folks, so on and so on. It's Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Ooh, I could have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for that dog and those meddling kids. It's like, let's get out of here, Scoob. Rookie Reggie. Do you understand? Okay. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer and stop acting like a fucking crazy bitch. David Rockefeller is collecting all the evidence. It's been scientifically proved beyond any reasonable doubts. And if you have any doubts, they're obviously not reasonable, right? Okay. Crimes are the invention of perversion. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer, then you won't be having to sit around talking about solving crimes of people being perverted because they're not living the peace of the Messiah. All right? I love you.